It's Week 7 of the National Football League. And coming up next, it's a cross-conference showdown. Buckle up. There's football coming your way under the lights on Monday night.
We are just a few miles from the Gulf Coast of Florida at Raymond James Stadium here in Tampa. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gordon alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, you take a look at this Buccaneer ball club. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
On the other side of the field for our visitors here, they're in a real groove of late. Winners of 5 of their last 6 games.
And how about that defense last week? They pitched a shutout, and it's really more like a no-hitter because they absolutely dominated that game from the opening whistle.
Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. They'll be led out by the final pick of the first round in 2018 out of Louisville. It's Lamar Jackson.
And the guys on the other side of the ball know they'll have to be on their toes. And it's obviously not just the passing, but the running element that makes him dangerous. He ran for over 100 yards in that game last week. So keeping him contained will be a big emphasis for this defense.
The NFL's leading rusher in 2019 and 2020, Derrick Henry. And he'll power ahead, but only for about 3 yards. Second down coming up. You look at this defense for Tampa Bay. Well, they were very strong in that victory from a week ago.
And all defensive teams that I know talk about creating turnovers. Takeaways, they call them. And anytime you can get 2 or more in a game, you've had a really, really good performance. They exceeded that number in a big way.
Lamar Jackson, such a threat with those legs, able to improvise and get the first.
That's an early scramble that can be viewed positively by either side. From the offensive point of view, it begins to establish him as a possibility to keep it on certain plays. And defensively, they avoided giving up a huge play with one of their first tests in containing a quarterback on the run.
And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. Call that a gain of 11.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
From midfield now, here's Jackson. Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's second down. Here's Jackson. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's third down. Well, the incompletion, but now we also have an injured player. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. Throwing is Jackson. Steps away to his left. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. We're scoreless after 1. Ready for the second quarter, and it's our visitors with the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Running left, it's Henry. Able to push his way through. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. Antoine Winfield up from the secondary with the tackle. Now a 2nd and 10. And now Jackson will look to throw it. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Well, it looked like a march to the end zone has hit a momentary roadblock with that incompletion. No need to panic. They just got to come up with a high percentage play call and see if they can get their offense back on track.
Forced out to his left. Escapes the defender. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. 23 yards on the tuck and run.
Ah, Brandon, that's a gamer move right there. Facing third down, steps up, calls his own number.
And he will take this one in for a touchdown. Derrick Henry, as the first half is winding down. And this offense takes the ball down the field and scores on their opening drive.
It's not often you talk about statement drives coming right at the start of a game, but that was some statement there. That drive took them the length of the field, and as I look at the clock, ate up nearly the entire first quarter as well. Great work up front clearing space, and an ideal finish on the touchdown run.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. So that one a long 11-play drive. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And a pretty poor kick here. It doesn't make it to the landing zone. And that means they'll move the ball out to the 40-yard line. And they'll accept that penalty. The Buccaneers in good field position here to start out. 1st and 10 at the 40. Mayfield to throw it. That one tipped, and it's incomplete. But good hands there defensively at 2nd down. To throw, Mayfield. He'll get this complete to the rookie from Washington. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. He's going to need a little mustard on this one. It will be a 51-yard attempt. And his kick is indeed good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. Well, still trailing here, but they do get the late field goal. Now their defense will try to keep this score right where it is heading into the locker room. Yeah, and trailing at the break, you obviously don't want to go in off of a negative play. Give them credit for that one. Finding a way to put points on the board, give them any type of a spark, anything to build off of as they try to plan a comeback. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. 1 second, all that remains. Final play of the half here. It's Jackson. Looking deep here for Flowers. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. So we've reached intermission here in a low-scoring game. 7-3 is our score. As we toss it an hour or so east of here to Orlando, it's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. We'll get started over at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in downtown Atlanta, where it was definitely a game with some intrigue, as you can see by the scoreline. Ken Walker, over 100 yards in the victory with 2 touchdown runs as well. From there, we're off to check out another game. And they were winners in that one over the visiting Raiders. Puka Nacua, well over 100 yards receiving with 3 touchdown catches. Finally, let's get down to the Bayou. Check in on the Saints at home at the Caesars Superdome. And they were losers in that one as they fall to the visiting Denver Broncos. Bo Nix, strong as ever, as his guys finished off the first half at 7-1. It was Derrick Henry, as he normally does, making his impact felt in that first half. He had a touchdown run that helped get his guys this halftime lead. This has certainly been a fun one to watch so far. We knew this was going to be a battle, and we have not been disappointed. This is the kind of game that could wind up hinging on which side can play mistake-free football the rest of the way.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. So a 4-point game here as we get set to resume action in this third quarter of play. And he won't quite make it to the 25. Tampa Bay, they're getting ready to set up shop here for their second drive. Well, out of the locker rooms here they come. Their first drive of the third quarter. And, Charles, they're trailing in this ball game, but we got a tight one set up to be a very entertaining second half.
And as we know, partner, in the NFL, there's trailing and there's trailing, right? Sometimes you're discouraged by how much you're down, but in this case, this is a tight ball game, so there's a sense of optimism here. I think they went into half and looked at their play sheet and said, these are the plays we really like. What do you say we use them to start the second half and get us going?
And incomplete. But the passing windows are just not there, and that's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. Right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains. Mayfield. He's got his target. That's complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. So they move from 136 over to the other as they come up on first down. Baker going to give it to Irving. And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup. It'll be a pickup of 4, and it winds us down to the end of the third quarter. 1 quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Tampa. It's Buccaneer football, but they've got work to do. They find themselves behind here to start the fourth quarter. Now Mayfield. This ball tipped, and it's going to be incomplete. Fortunate maybe to get that back. It's 3rd down. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. Mayfield. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. Plenty of time and 2 timeouts still at their disposal. 1st and 10 here. Straight ahead, it's Irving. And shedding through the tackle. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. So there the defense denies the rookie of his potential first career touchdown.
And his first NFL touchdown celebration. I wonder if he's thought about it, if he has something cooked up in his head as he worked out with his team, and think about the celebration back home when he finally scores his first touchdown.
You don't get a second chance to make a first impression. We'll see what he does.
Well said, sir. Well said.
And that throw behind his man. He missed him. Incomplete.
Limited time left on the clock after that incompletion, so I think both sides are going to savor every second to prepare before the next snap. Because once the ball's in motion, it may be a nonstop push to finish this drive off. Everyone better be on the same page right now, because I think they're trying to get several plays off in quick succession if they can.
3rd down and goal coming up here. Now Mayfield. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Partner, they've got 1 chance left to keep this one going, and I think for you and me, let's think along with their offensive coordinator now. Has to think back, cycle through every play of this contest, and remember what's worked and what hasn't. Because right here, he needs the best play of the game in order to keep this one alive.
They're turned away on 4th and goal, and the ball will go over on the goal line stand. So now let's reset here, Charles. They do have 2 timeouts left, so they can stop the clock twice. This one's not quite over yet.
No, and what you're doing on defense, you're going to use both timeouts, obviously. But you've got to call defenses are going to force the issue early, meaning you want that play over fast. You don't want to give them time to dance around in the backfield or run a wide sweep that'll take off time. Blitz them, put pressure on them, make sure that play ends quickly so that you can go ahead and keep moving.
During that run, an injury here. We got one of those big blockers in some discomfort. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. Five points of contact necessary at this stage as they'll run on first down. The Bucs going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as the clock stops with 23 seconds to go in the game. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Henry running right. Fights through and now a crease. Derrick Henry all alone. He may go. And he's across for the late touchdown. And in the final seconds, that one should just about put a capper on this game. That was a pretty impressive touchdown play. Those broken tackles, those weren't easy to get by.
No, they really weren't. And they've had trouble tackling throughout this ball game. But on this particular play, how about that move? Or I should say moves with an S, because I don't care if you were a great tackler. You had trouble getting him on the ground on that play.
Oh, and it's no good. He tugged it wide left, and that will keep our score right where it is. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30, up to the 33. Here's 1st and 10. One last shot for Mayfield here. And that will be incomplete, as time has run out on this football game. So this crowd will not go home happy. It's a victory for our visitors, and it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for our visitors, they remain one of the hottest teams out there as the win moves them to 6-1. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Cleveland to take on the Browns. Meanwhile, for Tampa Bay, they dipped to 2-5 now with the loss. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.